There's a moment, right before the world wakes up, when everything goes completely still. The water goes flat. The sky turns this impossible shade of pale silver, and nothing moves. There was designed to live in that moment, permanently. She doesn't arrive making noise. She doesn't announce herself with sharp angles or flashy curves trying to catch your eye from across a marina. She just appears, and once you see her, you can't quite look away. This is a yacht built around one idea, and one idea only, that true luxury doesn't make noise. It simply exists with complete and total confidence. She stretches just over 90 meters. Her exterior is a study in pure restraint, pale, almost ghostly white, with hull lines so clean they look like they were drawn by a single, steady hand. No ornament, no excess, just form and water and light. But don't let that stillness fool you. Inside there's an entire world waiting, and today you're walking through it. Just a quick note that if you want to explore or have interest in Superyacht essentials and helpful products, just check out the link in the description below, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let's get to yacht where awe-inspiring world is waiting for you. Before we get inside, I want to be transparent. The Superyacht you're looking at right now is a fictional design and doesn't exist in reality. It is just the idea of how luxury and technology can combine together and give you the experience of ultimate luxury on open waters. Coming aboard there is its own experience. The boarding platform sits at water level, almost flush with the sea itself. There's no grand staircase with gold rails, no velvet rope. Instead, you step off the tinder and onto a wide, quiet platform that feels almost meditative, like stepping onto a private island that happens to float. The platform is surrounded on three sides by open water. There's just horizon and you. Above you, the yacht rises in these clean, horizontal bands, deck after deck, each one slightly recessed from the one below it. From this angle, she looks less like a yacht and more like a piece of architecture, something that belongs in a gallery, not a marina. A single wide passage leads you inside. They sense you coming and simply open without a sound. That's actually the first thing people always notice about there. The silence. This yacht is extraordinarily, almost unnervingly quiet. Her engineers built a sound isolation system so advanced that once you step past that threshold, the entire ocean disappears. The hum of the engine's gone. The wind gone. Like the yacht is absorbing every sharp edge before it can reach you. You'll notice that quickly, and then you'll never want to leave. The main salon opens in front of you, and your first instinct will probably be to stop walking. Not because it overwhelms you. It's the opposite, actually. It's because it's so calm, so perfectly composed that you just want to stand there and take it in. The room is wide and long, with one full side that's entirely transparent, a continuous expanse of glass that stretches from the floor all the way up, framing the ocean like a living painting. Right now, the sea outside is silver gray and still. An hour from now, it'll be gold. At night, it'll be black glass. The view changes constantly, and the room changes with it. The furniture is minimal but deeply considered. Pale, almost cream-colored, with cushions so deep you sink into them and sort of forget what you were doing. A few low tables, each one looking like it was carved from a single piece of something ancient and beautiful. Nothing that competes. Everything that complements. What there does better than almost any yacht I've seen is light. They build a system of concealed panels throughout the salon ceiling that reads the natural light outside and mirrors it inside. So the room is never artificially bright, never harsh. The light inside there always feels like it's coming from the sky, even when it isn't. On the far wall, and this is where she surprises you, there's a vertical garden, a living wall of plants and soft greenery, built into a shallow channel of recirculated water. It hums very gently. It smells faintly like a forest after rain. It's one of the only decorative decisions in the entire salon, and it says everything about this yacht's philosophy. Nature, but controlled. Beautiful, but effortless. Take the lift or the staircase if you prefer, which is itself worth a moment. Up one deck, and you reach the Sky Lounge. This room has a different energy to the salon below. Lower, more intimate. The ceiling curves slightly inward toward the center, creating this feeling of being held, like the room itself leans in. The entire ceiling here is a single, continuous display, but not in a dramatic tech show-off way. It's calibrated to show a live feed of the sky directly above, projected with such precision that when you lie back on one of the loungers and look up, you genuinely cannot tell if you're looking at a screen or directly through the hull. On a clear night, the Sky Lounge becomes something else entirely. The stars overhead feel close enough to touch. The furniture here is different from the salon. Warmer, lower to the ground. There's a cluster of deep reading chairs on one side, arranged loosely. Not in a formal configuration, but the way people naturally arrange themselves when they're comfortable. A long, low daybed near the forward windows. And along the port wall, a shallow niche lined with books, real ones, not decorative. Hundreds of them, organized by topic, by color, by feel. This is a room for being still, for the kind of quiet afternoon that you don't quite plan, but end up remembering forever. You are in middle of open waters. You gain nothing if you don't lose into the world of thinking and knowledge. Just for that objective, there is library. Just after the Sky Lounge, tucked behind a pair of impossibly thin doors, is the library. In this room, this is where there truly shows her soul. She's smaller than you'd expect. Deliberately, the designers made this room compact, almost cocoon-like, because they understood something that bigger spaces often miss. That real comfort, the kind that lets your mind go completely quiet, comes from feeling enclosed. Protected. The shelves wrap the entire room. Not ornamental shelves with 3 books and a sculpture. Real, full shelves, floor to ceiling, every one packed with a curated collection of literature, art, philosophy, exploration writing, and history. The collection changes on every voyage. A small team at their home port maintains and refreshes it based on a destination. At the center of the room, a single reading table. It holds a soft, adjustable reading lamp. An empty glass carafe of water. Nothing else. There's a window, small, almost porthole-sized, positioned at exactly the right height, so that if you're seated at the table reading, you can glance up and see the horizon. Just a slice of it. Blue water, open sky. That's all you need. People who board there for the first time always get the full tour. They see the suites, the deck, the dining hall. But the guests who come back, the ones who charter her year after year, they always end up back here. In this room, at that table. Obviously, that's fictional. The library is their quiet secret. Let's go to the top. The owner's deck occupies the entire uppermost private level of there, and the moment you step onto it, the first thing you feel is space. Pure, open, unobstructed space. There is no roof, no overhang trying to shade you. The deck is completely open to the sky, by design, because their owner wanted to wake up in the morning and have the sky be the first thing they see. The suite itself extends from an interior wing that runs along the forward section of the deck. From outside, the transition between interior and exterior is nearly invisible. Floor-to-ceiling glass panels retract completely into the hull structure, so when they're open, and they almost always are, the bedroom, the private lounge, and the outdoor terrace become a single, seamless space. The bed sits on a low, floating platform positioned directly in front of the open glass. There's no footboard, nothing interrupting the sight line, just bed and beyond it sky. In the morning, lying there, the horizon fills the entire frame of your vision. You don't see the yacht. You don't see the deck. You see water meeting sky, all the way to the edge of the world. It's the kind of view that makes you forget you had any obligations at all. The owner's bathroom opens off the port side of the suite. And I'll tell you what, this room deserves its own paragraph. It's a room that manages to feel both grand and deeply private at the same time. The bath sits centered in the room, a deep, almost sculptural soaking tub with a form so refined it looks like it was designed by someone who took the concept of a bath and spent 3 years thinking about it. It faces a full open-air window, no glass, just a wide aperture with a deep ledge looking directly out to sea. You can sit in that bath and watch the water move 30 feet below you. The shower is on the forward side of the room. It's a wet room, no door, no enclosure, just space. The water comes from directly above, from a rainfall system hidden completely within the ceiling, and from thin horizontal bands in the walls that send soft jets across at shoulder height. Getting ready for dinner in this bathroom, with the sea rolling by in a mirror, is something you genuinely can't compare to anything on land. There carries 6 guest suites, positioned across 2 decks, and each one is distinct. Not dramatically different, but distinct, like chapters in the same book, written in the same voice, but telling different stories. The forward suite on the main guest deck is the most dramatic. It faces directly ahead, with a long glass wall pointing toward whatever's coming next, whatever port, whatever sea, whatever horizon lies ahead. Guests who stay there often say it feels like being at the front of an expedition, like you're leading the way. The aft suite on the same deck faces the opposite direction. It looks back at the yacht's wake, that long, trailing V of white water. At sunset, with the light hitting from the side, the wake turns gold and the whole view becomes extraordinary. Two suites midship have the steadiest ride and the calmest light. They're also the most contained, a little deeper into the hull, a little more private. Good for the guests who want to disappear. Every suite follows the same design language as the rest of their pale, minimal, deeply calm. Each one has its own small private outdoor terrace, accessed through a single panel of glass. Each one has a built-in reading nook, slightly apart from the main sleeping area, because there's designers believe that a good guest cabin should have somewhere to sit that isn't the bed. The dining hall is one of the most extraordinary rooms on there, and it works because it refuses to take itself too seriously. It's a long room, stretching nearly the full beam of the yacht, with a single, continuous table running down its center. The table is long enough to seat 24 comfortably, but the way it's been proportioned and lit, an intimate dinner for four feels just as right. One full side of the dining hall is glass, like the salon below, but here the view is positioned higher, looking out above the waterline. You see the ocean as a horizon rather than a wall. It gives the room a floating quality, like dining in the sky above the sea. Midship on the lower private deck, there is given over a significant portion of her space to what they simply call the wellness deck. It doesn't look like a spa. Nothing about it reads amenity or facility. It feels more like a private retreat that happens to be on a yacht. A warm room, built for deep stillness, where the temperature is set to feel like a warm summer afternoon indoors, the kind of warmth that makes you slow down. A cool room adjacent to it, where the air is crisp and the light is bluer, and the whole feeling is of early morning in the mountains. At the center of the wellness deck is the pool. It's narrow, deliberately, and runs across the full beam of the deck. Not a swimming pool in the resort sense. More of a wading pool, shallow enough to stand in, deep enough to sit fully submerged. Now here is where there stops being a yacht and starts being something else. Two decks below the waterline, which on most yachts means storage, machinery, and nothing worth mentioning. There has built something that takes your breath away. The observatory. It's a room that extends outward from the lower hull. A gentle protrusion with a hull skin that transitions on three sides into floor-to-ceiling panels of reinforced, optically clear material that lets you see directly into the open ocean. It's a compact, two-person vessel, not a toy, not a novelty. A serious, well-engineered personal submarine capable of diving to depths that take you genuinely far below the surface. Watching the surface light fade as you go deeper is almost impossible to put into words accurately. The feeling of having gone somewhere that almost no one has been. The second vessel is a tender, a beautifully designed, fast-running support boat that also serves as a chase boat, a water sports platform, and a shuttle. It has the same design language as their herself, clean, white minimal. Even the yacht's tender looks like it was designed by someone who cares. The bow deck of there is one of her most beloved spaces, and it's almost nothing. That's the point. It's a wide, flat, open platform at the very forward tip of the yacht. Standing at the absolute tip of their's bow while she's underway. Sea spray occasionally catching the wind and touching your face, water parting below you, horizon ahead. It is one of the few moments on this yacht where the scale of everything really lands. You're not in a room. You're not in a building. You're on a machine, moving through water in the middle of the world. That feeling, rare, clear, and slightly untamable, is what there was built to give you. In the evenings, after dinner, most guests aboard there find their way to what the crew quietly calls the night deck. It's technically the upper aft terrace, a partially covered outdoor space after the sky lounge. But the name night deck has stuck because of what happens there after dark. There's a fire table at the center, low, square, burning with a clean, almost invisible flame that you feel more than see. Around it, the seating is deep and informal. Blankets are left out. The table is always set with whatever you want nearby. On a clear night, lying back in that space with a fire nearby and the ocean all around and stars overhead, it's genuinely difficult to describe without sounding like you're overselling it. She doesn't need to impress you. She doesn't try to. She just places you very gently inside one of the most beautiful environments you've ever been in, and then she leaves you alone to feel it. That's the whole idea. No noise, no performance, no excess that needs justifying. Just the sea, the sky, and a yacht that seems to understand, on some deep level, that the most extraordinary thing you can give a person isn't more. It's the very best version of less. If you found her as captivating as I did, and I think you did, then stay with Luminero Rides. We have more extraordinary worlds to show you. Subscribe, and come back when the next one is ready. Because wherever we go next, it's going to be worth the wait. If you want to see another similar design, click any of the video on your screens, and I will see you there. Subscribe.